for Chris?
Tell him he can quit after the convention.
We just took on a new job, so.
Tell him we'll pay him double. Maybe not.
Well, maybe we ought to think about paying him something.
Well, if he doesn't have the time to do it, he doesn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
Roger has stepped up to help.
Oh, again. And he stepped in to rescue us last time.
He might have to belly up. We'll see. I don't want to put that burden on him because he said he didn't want to do that. But he said he'd help in any way that he could. Now, I won't be able to talk to Roger tomorrow because he's going skiing.
Do we know if Steve's coming?
Steve Gallant?
Yeah.
I haven't heard otherwise.
Okay, me neither.
And who else was supposed to be here?
David's here. Oh, Lance?
No,
Lance is remoting in.
He's calling in, maybe.
Is everybody logged
There's
in?
Steve.
Yeah, I just
Did it
sent out
call
the
in?
link.
So who do we got logged in? We have Lance?
We don't have anybody yet. I literally just sent it out.
There's Steve.
Yes, Steve is going to show up today. I
We're
can
pretty sure.
confirm that. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure that he's gonna come. But they just asked him if you were coming. So nobody knew.
Hello.
I recognize you from somewhere. I don't know.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good to see you, Paul.
Good.
And you are
I'm Kyle.
Fury.
Fury?
He's the chair of Denver.
I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah, you
Fury's
were
gonna
here,
be able to log
last
in
time.
or not, Mike. She's really sick. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know she was gonna try to.
Fury, Paul Smith.
Looks like the flu.
Oh, no, that's not fun.
Good thing she got the flu shot.
I never get
Welcome
those.
to Hangout Meet.
I get them every time.
Followed by the pound key.
And neither one of us have gotten the flu, so what does it mean?
I get one all the time.
Yeah, I think us old guys are more important for us, not young people like you.
I've been told by doctors not to get it.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because I'm allergic to the flu shot.
How can you be allergic to the flu shot?
It's
Are you allergic to
something-
eggs? or-
I'm allergic to latex and crab and
Sounds like a good meal.
something
so far.
else.
No.
So no skin tight fetish wear for you.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Oh.
Well,
Nick
if it
Campbell,
was
is there something we
vinyl,
should
I
know?
could.
You have joined the call, but you were the only one here.
Reverend, if it was vinyl, it's no problem. It's
There you
not-
go.
That's
See, there's always a
There's
workaround.
always a workaround.
So they were gonna call in.
Oh, goodness.
We'll wait just a moment here for the people that are logging in remotely.
That's someone. Hello?
Steve here.
Cool.
Hey, Mike.
Howdy.
Did you change the Mason meetings to Wednesday?
The Mesa meeting,
All those calls.
yeah. What calls?
Didn't you get the emails? Did Mark contact him?
Yeah. He said it was, what he wants is a really simple thing. Just have it on the second Wednesday and fourth Wednesday of the month and don't worry about it. But Meetup can't do that, so you gotta put them in manually each month.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's a normal thing. Meetings
Second
are,
Wednesday and
yeah.
fourth Wednesday.
even just second Wednesday, and I'll make a second one for the fourth Wednesday, but you can't do it. And you do
And
it
when
by
is the
day.
next meetup?
It's either the second or fourth Wednesday. I guess the second Wednesday. But
This
yeah,
Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Who do we have online at this point?
Mike Seebeck.
I may go
That's
over
it?
there.
Yeah.
What?
I might.
Oh, and
It's a
then
long run.
I have a daughter
legislative.
in
Is that
Red Junction.
Mike Stapleton.
Stapleton?
I can bring work,
Okay.
visit members.
With
right
your
off the
self-driving car, you
mileage.
can do it on the way out. So, no, not yet.
So is it changed? I didn't get a clear answer.
No, but I can write off the mileage and make it a,
No, it's second and
Business
fourth
trip.
Wednesday is what it's supposed to be.
especially
Is it
since I am
meetups?
no longer gonna be with my company probably after
Well, there's
the end.
two meetups.
Really?
So the Mesa meetup has
They
it right,
sold to somebody
and our
else.
meetup had it wrong, had a Tuesday. But that date is passed, so now we gotta reset it.
But the state one won't keep
So
saying
then you'll
Tuesday.
be able to,
I don't think so, but I could check that.
Well,
I met with one of my clients today who informed me that her boss's position is open.
Well, guys, let's go ahead and get started here. Hopefully they'll join us here very shortly. Has everybody read the agenda for tonight?
yes.
Any additions you'd like to make at this point? David?
we need to, purchase the state voter registration list.
Mhm.
Okay, we're scheduled to do that on the 15th, I believe. Let's see. Yes, 15th.
Okay,
Is there any reason to do it sooner?
no, because we're gonna get the one from the first regardless of when we do it.
Right, okay.
Okay, so
So-
we
For
don't,
some reason, we picked the 15th. Maybe it was over because we were doing quarters before or something, but.
we've already determined that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We get it 2 times a year now, so.
Okay, no other additions? Okay, we have some guests with us. Would you identify yourself, please? Tell us why you're here.
Sure, I'm Paul Smith, and I'm the co-chair of the Jeffco Group.
Thank you, Paul.
I'm Kyle Fury. I'm the chair of the Denver County Group. Just here to observe, figure out
Beautiful.
what's going on.
Thanks for coming, guys.
We got 2 newest affiliates right here. That's great.
Soon to be.
We won't be till you and I do a little work. For the next couple of days.
Would you guys like to, since you're both from the affiliates, would you like to take a moment, tell us about your successes?
I don't know, what do we call successes? We've probably met 4 or 5 times, typically 20 people, although the last
Good.
one was a little bit of a disaster.
No, the last one was brilliant.
Well,
We
got something
tested,
done.
we tested what would happen if nobody called. So we didn't call anybody. We got 5 people, so.
So, conclusion of the last meeting was that it's pretty hard to do anything meaningful without becoming real. And that's what Mike and I were just talking about. We are in the process of becoming real. We have a set of bylaws we're passing around and editing.
Are you coming to convention?
It's my intention.
Okay.
Have you gotten an affiliate booth?
Oh, yeah.
Why would we want an affiliate booth?
Because you had a couple tickets and a booth and
It has the-
an ad and you can,
So if we have 2 people like you and Ross that want to go,
yeah,
we could buy the affiliate group, you'll get your 2 tickets.
and you
then
get
we'll
the
cost
table
any
for free,
extra, yeah.
basically.
I'm sure that at least Ross and I will want to go out. My guess is
Well, I would encourage you to come to the class on building the affiliates
Mhm.
at convention,
Oh,
both of you. That would be valuable for both of you, I believe.
yeah, we have 7 positions outlined for the board, and so far 6 of them are filled, I think.
not bad.
Pretty good.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
All right. Guys, has everybody read the minutes from last month?
I
Did you
did.
want to get Kyle a chance to talk to about his successes?
I thought he was done.
No, that
That was
Paul.
Jefferson. This is Denver.
Forgive me, Kyle. I thought you just weren't going to say anything. Go ahead.
Well, I guess I don't have a ton to say, since we just relaunched at our last meeting last month, but.
That was a great turnout.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
a
it
good
was.
turnout. We elected 3 people to the board and we're getting started pretty much.
You got a Facebook event up for your next meeting?
Yep.
Good.
And you got the room reserved for the next meeting?
Yep. See you.
Same.
Well, having that room in the
Same
back will make a
location
big difference.
until they decide
Oh, yeah.
otherwise.
We need a separate room.
Certainly come along Thursday, the 21st, we meet at the old Capitol Grill. Which is a pretty interesting place to meet because, in Golden. Because it was actually the territorial capital building prior to Colorado becoming a state.
Oh,
And it's called the Old Capitol Grill?
It's on Washington Street.
Sounds okay.
Anything else, Kyle?
Nope.
Okay. All right, the minutes. Any additions or changes that need to be made to the minutes of last month? Okay. Officer reports, I have nothing to add to mine. Michelle, are you with us?
No.
Okay. Treasurer?
Nothing to add, but I would like to remind the affiliates or the development groups that any money that they collect goes to the state, and we'll hold it until you become an affiliate and get it back.
And I have $31 of Denver's money that I forgot to bring.
You forgot to. You guys. Okay, that's all.
Fundraising.
Well, I have one thing to add. I finally got the report on CVCRM of what we raised between the day we made the phone calls on Saturday and last night, and it's $3,264.60.
Is convention ticket purchases?
Between convention tickets and a couple small donations here and there.
Nice. Nice. Nice to have a fundraising director that's doing it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, congrats.
So that's the only thing I have to add. It was the dollar amount is $32,64.60. We also have a planned event for April 6th. Another one,
What is that?
same thing, April 6th, same place at the Culbersons, 4 o'clock. Bunch of volunteers making phone calls again.
Beautiful. Okay. Things?
Nothing to add.
Hey, were you done in the?
Looks like they're there.
Lance, okay.
Are you done in the office?
Lance?
Okay.
Lance, you with us? Okay. Kevin, are you with us? Didn't sound like it.
Maybe it's a different time zone down
Regions.
The only thing to add, I don't think I put this in my report, but we have a contact in Archuleta County who's going to start making some calls and reaching out to people, try to get meetings up and running there.
How do you spell that county?
Archuleta.
Have you been in contact, I see you have Adams up next. Have you been in contact with Josh Robertson?
So
I asked him to call you.
Right, and I've been out of town for about 2 weeks. I just got back this last weekend. So I talked to Josh right before I left, and he said, I said, when I get back, let's try and set something up like a Kickstart meeting. And he said that they were going to try to start holding meetings anytime in the meantime. So I don't know if they've had one yet or have anything upcoming, but I'm going to talk to him this week.
Okay. His life is kind of in turmoil right now, so is Ken going to help him, or is Ken kind of bailed out of this?
I don't know. He didn't mention Ken. He did mention somebody else. I think, didn't you mention someone else who was willing to work on getting the group going?
I'm drawing a blank. I remember somebody as well. But
he mentioned another name, and I can't think of it right now. But yeah, it sounds like he's still willing to be somewhat engaged anyway.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Legislative.
Is Michael hooked up?
With us, Mike?
Yeah, he's still here.
Yes, I'm still here. I do have a couple things to add. The red flag legislation is on the schedule to be heard in the Senate Veterans State Affairs Committee on Friday upon adjournment, but after today's procedural move in the Senate, things may be delayed because I don't know if everybody's heard, but kind of one of the stall tactics that is available to use is to have the entire piece of legislation or have an entire piece of legislation read to all the legislators. So today, a Republican legislator out of Weld County asked that a 2023 page piece of legislation be read in its entirety.
Yeah. That's interesting. But they're doing that now, so can't.
The only issue with that is they had nonpartisan staff, the Senate clerk, read it for about the first 3 hours until somebody showed up with a computer that would automatically read it. And they, instead of taking about 41 hours to read it, they were to get the time cut down to about 6 or 8 hours. And the thing with the computer, it was a play on word, because in state statute, it says it must be read, but but nowhere does it say it must be heard or understood.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Speaker.
So,
Um,
So they played it
really
fast
fast.
forward.
We also have-
Then also today I was contacted by one of the bills that I left off my report that I was going to add to it was the death penalty, the Colorado death penalty repeal legislation. I was reached out to today by the director from Conservatives Concerned About the Death Penalty, and she has asked me to lobby two of the Republicans that are on the fence, Jim Smallwood and Jack Tate. So I'm going to be looking for some people in those districts to help me get the word out and kind of lean on those two. I've got the details of what their concerns are about the legislation, and it's definitely something that we can work into and work with.
I believe Jim Smallwood is in my area. Mike, send me the details if you would. This is Wayne.
Yep, I absolutely will. I know he is Beatrice's senator too, so I was going to get her to help me out on that as well. She's really good about that. And then the last one is everybody has heard about the how they're part of today's stall tactic with reading this piece of legislation was to kind of get the process slowed down and backed up on the oil and gas legislation that they're just ramming through in just a matter of a couple days, so that they can give them some time to work out a plan, give the industry to work out a plan. But it's definitely getting interesting down at the state capitol. There's a lot of stuff going on and happening. If they indeed do hold the committee hearing for the red flag legislation in the Senate as scheduled on Friday, I anticipate it's going to be a pretty busy day. I've ran into some scheduling conflicts, so I won't be able to get up there as early as I had hoped. I'm going to get there. Hopefully it'll run late into the evening and I can still get up there and present our opposition to the red flag legislation as well. And then also Thursday morning this week, I will be in front of my hometown or my home county commissioners, offering them a resolution to become a Second Amendment sanctuary city. Not that they're going to take it, knowing the makeup of Pueblo politics, but I want them to be on the record of saying that they're not interested and hold them accountable to that.
Good. Anything else?
And that's all I have for right now.
Thank you, Mike. Communications, Lance, you with us?
There's one thing I wanted to
Oh,
add to that.
excuse me.
That's also an issue, the sanctuary counties. That's something that every affiliate group and development group can work on too. Just a suggestion there, because even if, just in preparation, if this thing passes and to have something that puts the county officials on the map as far as where they stand on this. So, and I know Douglas County.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah. So.
And if anybody would like a copy of, I've got Fremont County's resolution language. If anybody would like that copy, I can send to them. I've got Custer County's resolution language coming. They're working on getting it made open to the public and put on theirs. They have a really nice one. They added some additional constitutional support language as far as the Second Amendment's concerned to it. So I have that one coming if anybody's interested in seeing what that resolution language looks like.
Would you send it to the entire board?
I will.
David?
Mike, has there been any reaction to the sanctuary movement?
There is, we're starting to see a real uptick in it. Of course, everybody knows that it's for the most part, it's just symbolic. There's not a whole lot of teeth to it. Some of the sheriffs are gonna look at it once it's actually passed and make a determination as to how they're going to approach it and how they're going to determine what is sufficient due process and what isn't. But it's interesting. It is putting pressure on some of the elected in some of these other counties to really take a look at it. And knowing the makeup of the Senate, there's only a 2-seat majority in the Senate. So if we can find 2 Democrats that are in counties where they're pushing back with this sanctuary city stuff, it may affect the vote, and we could end up just not getting passed out of the Senate. It's a gamble, but it's worth trying to find one. I know that personally, I'm going to be using it to pressure my senator, who is also the Senate president, Leroy Garcia. I've actually requested a meeting with him because he has introduced a interesting piece of legislation, or will be introducing an interesting piece of legislation on modifying Colorado state statutes to allow for a competitive utility market where you could actually be able to select your local electric utility provider in your area based off competitions, kind of like what they do in some places in Texas and some other locations. So I'm going to use that to try to get a meeting with him.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting that Mr. John Pickerel wrote an op-ed to the Pueblo chieftain calling him out on introducing that legislation if he wanted to solve our energy problems here in Pueblo. And the good senator picked up on that and is going to introduce that. But I want to have that meeting with him to talk about that. But then I kind of also want to go on a fishing expedition to see where he's at on the red flag legislation.
Okay, John, you had a question?
On the comment on the red flag thing, Sheriff Elder in El Paso County is disinclined to do a sanctuary city, but he's talking about doing a lawsuit challenging the legislation if it passes. So, which I think is a better approach.
Yeah, stuff for everybody.
All right. Lance, are you with us?
Yep.
All right, it's your turn, communications.
Updates are Facebook actually has 100 more likes than when I wrote my report. Twitter has 100 more followers. Instagram has 10 more. And we've been consistently adding about 2 affiliates a month by posting on the main page and advertising that way and getting those platforms up and running. Archuleta is going to start, they've got a good Facebook admin, and they're moving to Instagram and Twitter. So communications are strong. No, nothing to add besides that.
Good. Thank you, Lance.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Mike.
So Lance, first, congrats on the press release pickup that you had last month. I looked like 3 newspapers. Do we have a cleaned up media list? Because as I recall, our media list was pretty bad.
Yep.
Okay. So, and that's available if one of us wanted to grab that for our local affiliate?
Yep. Just email me.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Records.
Oh, all right. Nothing to add to my report.
Okay. All right. Technology. Anything?
I have nothing to add. I will not be here next month for the meeting.
Okay.
So.
Will you
anyone
be
wants
at
to step
convention?
in? What?
Will you be at convention?
I mean, I've been working 80-hour weeks between helping my wife with her law firm and the job that I do during the day. So I don't know if that's going to stop anytime soon, to be honest. I was actually going to talk to you tonight about that. So
okay.
At this rate, I honestly don't think I can make it.
For the convention?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk about that when we wrap it up.
Okay.
All right. I want to thank you for all the time timeliness you've given us every time we need to have an email set up or anything. You've gotten it done right away, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been trying. But does anybody else have any questions for the technology side?
Did you get all the affiliate emails?
Yeah, I did. I didn't have time to look into that. We don't have Google Cloud API access because we're technically on one of the free accounts still. So we don't pay per user. We actually still have like 12 seats open, but it's some legacy thing that they stopped it like 2 years ago, but we're still on the free plan because we never changed it. Yeah. But we don't have API access, so I don't know if I can really automate a lot of the stuff that I was hoping to do.
All right.
Which would mean a lot of manual upkeep of that list.
Okay.
I can see if I can find a workaround. I probably could use my personal account to basically give my personal server access to the Google groups, but I don't know if that's like a security problem or not. So
The real problem is if you go away. then-
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot of legwork involved in setting that up too. So
So,
yeah.
okay, maybe we better not do that then.
What would
Right,
it, what would
just
it cost
the
to
old
upgrade?
fashioned
So it's $5 per user per month. I
source
think there's
data.
like 38 users right now, so you're looking at
Yeah.
$160 a month.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cheap. But I mean, if you're not paying anything, it's
not
obviously the
as cheap
cheapest,
as
right? So,
It's not cheap compared to that.
right.
Well, we're getting nickel and dimed on email stuff right now, so. Okay. Anything else, Mike?
No, I have nothing else.
What would be the costs in setting up our own email server?
The cost would be astronomical in time spent maintaining it and securing it.
Especially securing it.
Right.
Would just be whack.
I mean, anybody could set one up. It's just that nobody's going to trust an email server that you set up. Email in itself is a pretty insecure protocol.
And I don't know if it helps, but I did go through and manually pull out all of the contacts for every affiliate, which took a while. I went through it. I mean, some of them don't have contacts, but so I don't know if anybody wants that list of those that I pulled out, or if you already have it from Google. But
How many affiliates do we have?
the
Well-
active or development groups.
If you don't count development groups, right, it's only like 3, right?
6.
No, it's 4 or 5, I think. There's Douglas and Delta and El Paso and
Arapahoe.
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 Boulder.
Boulder.
I mean, if someone
Yeah.
if someone stays on top of it, it wouldn't be that hard to manage. I mean, the setup would take an hour, but I mean, people leaving and coming, we just have to keep track of that.
But how long does it take to add a new person?
Well, it wouldn't be adding a new person. So basically, I would just create a mailing list behind the affiliate email that would spit out to everyone that was in the group.
Okay. So somebody in the group would have to add and subtract people from the mailing list?
Yeah, we could delegate that out to the affiliates, or someone here could manage it. I mean, we definitely permission it out that way, so it's pretty open-ended.
Yeah, because some of them are set up as chair at, and then the affiliate changes. If the chair changes, they change that.
Okay. David.
The long story about, or to make a long story short about email, to do segmented mailings to like the counties or districts or whatever, we are, at least for now, going to have to go to MailChimp.
I've got that on the agenda.
Okay.
Is that going to be a separate topic, or should I
Yeah.
mail them about it now? Okay.
No, you can go ahead and talk about it now if you want to, David. It's gonna be-
No, we'll bring it up when you call for it.
Okay.
Other things to add. I did get the Douglas County pages set up on our website, so you can play around with that.
Are you in contact with Justin on that? Justin Matthew?
I got an email from somebody and I don't remember who it was, but,
Well, he and I met on Thursday or Friday morning, I think it was.
okay,
He said he'd be reaching out to you.
okay. Well, I think that was who it was then, and I told him what to do.
Okay.
So we should be able to deal with that.
All right, anything else? Until we get to the nuts and bolts.
The only other thing that happened today was I found out that National upgraded their server and our system is much faster now. So that's a step in the right direction.
You're talking about the speed of the website.
Yeah.
I noticed that too. It's a lot faster.
Yeah, it was pretty slow, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mike Stapleton, what do you have for us from the Legislative Committee? With us, Mike? Mike Stapleton?
Oh, sorry, you mean me?
Mike Stapleton.
Oh, Stapleton, sorry.
It's not.
He's not there.
Who was that other person?
That was
You'll
Mark
see
Seaver.
that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, we'll give him a moment here. Kim, what do you have us for us on the campaigns committee?
Nothing to add. It's all in the report.
Okay. Policy Manual Committee. Mr. Hirschman?
Didn't I do a report?
Let's see one.
You didn't see one?
I'm,
Yes, there is.
nothing to add.
Okay.
But I do need to get a hold of your wife.
Okay. Hopefully she'll be feeling well enough tomorrow to be able to respond.
She said.
Okay.
As a dog.
Hear me
Next.
now?
I can. What do you have for us on the Legislative Committee?
So I was able to get some stuff established with the committee, starting to get that rolling into a good place. I met with a gentleman that is interested in working on the committee, and he's actually helping me do some stuff at the state capitol, as well as a couple other people who had some interest in the committee. And we also had communications help me set up a legislative action group on Facebook so that we can discuss legislative issues, and also as legislative concerns come in through the state Facebook page, communications can take that and throw it in there and I can answer those questions. It's created a much more timely and efficient process in getting that done.
Okay. You're breaking up a little bit, Mike. Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you. All right, guys. Next one is the Convention Committee report. I'm sure you guys have all read Chris's report. It was pretty thorough. Gives a good idea where we stand. There's been quite a bit more work done since he submitted that report by Karen Ann on the business section, and I believe Michelle had some things that she'd been working on as well when it comes to the awards presentation that she's going to do, I believe, Saturday morning.
So I think she's doing 3 awards presentations.
Is it 3? Okay, I haven't seen
just for different types
Okay.
of awards. So.
All right. Well, I know Michelle is working on that, and hopefully Michelle and Karen will be working together to solidify that and work it in so that everything's graceful. But this is a real big deal for Michelle, so we want to make sure that we make that happen. All right. That brings me to my next point. As you guys all heard, Chris turned in his resignation just before our meeting. And that leaves us in a very, very difficult spot. I might be able to talk to Roger tonight, but more than likely not until Wednesday, to see if he's willing to step up and take the reins. As board members here, is there anybody here that's willing to give some additional time, not to chair the group, but some additional time to take some of the burden off of Roger's shoulders so he's not handling everything himself?
Yeah, the problem is I'm not going to be in town all the time. I mean, I can help out a bit while I'm here, but I'm not reliable as far as
Okay.
Being here.
If you would reach out to Roger and tell him your time restrictions. And Kim, you've already volunteered to step up and take some additional responsibilities. Anybody else?
I'll talk with Roger. I'll talk with Roger, see what I
Okay,
can do.
thank
I
you,
can't,
Victoria.
I don't have a lot of time, but
Well, the more people that we get that can help him, the less burden that he has himself. And if I can persuade, I think this might be a way I can persuade him to take this challenge on at such a late time, if he knows that we have the help from the majority of the board, willing to step up and pick up the pieces.
yeah. I know I'm picking up two of the people that are coming to speak at convention.
Yeah.
I'll try to be at the meeting tomorrow night.
Up at the airport.
Okay. All
Two of
right.
them.
Thank you, Lance.
One in Denver, one in Colorado Springs.
Oh, wow.
Anybody else here willing and able to give some time?
I might be able
David?
to.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I'll convey all of your guys' input to Roger when I speak with him. I'll try to reach him tonight, but my guess is if he's going skiing early tomorrow morning, he's probably in bed by the time we get out of our meeting here.
I hear Matt's available.
I don't think he'll do it.
I'd love to have Matt help, but he said he didn't want to be involved if he couldn't chair the group, so.
I don't blame him.
All right. Well, let's go into some unfinished business here. And Steve, this is from last month. Getting Larimer, Weld, Adams, and Pueblo County development groups started. I said you have Adams on your radar next. Pueblo County is already in the works. The only one we have left is Larimer and Weld. Matt and Marie were going to head that up. Has there been any movement on that at all?
Well, I haven't followed up on that because remember we talked about it last time and I decided to go with Adams first and focus on that. But I'll look into it and see what they want to do, or if they want to have I know they were talking about sort of having a meeting on the border and trying to get the two groups to have like an initial meeting.
Between Weld and Larimer?
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll talk to them about that.
I think we should have enough libertarians in each county to have a group in each county.
Yeah, but maybe as far as getting leadership and all that, it would make more sense for one.
Yeah.
Except the distances are so big up there as far as.
Yeah, but
how far
they're
people have to
that
go.
way from everywhere to everywhere.
Yeah.
But well, I remember initially, I think Matt's idea, which, might not be a bad idea, is to have like one of our board meetings that, our remote board meetings, or, board outreach or whatever, have that, kind of between Larimer and Weld, and then invite both groups just to sort of get things rolling. So.
Well, that would be good. That way, get both counties going, and then they could do a single one and put it under the Weld banner or under the Larimer banner, and then those folks that are in the other county, as soon as it gets big enough, they can split off and start their own.
Right.
That would certainly be a good idea. What town is on the border of Weld and Larimer?
I don't know.
Adams would like to schedule theirs on April 25th at 7 p.m. at the Old Chicago on 120th in Colorado. That's from Morel Madrid. He's been running the Facebook page.
Yeah, Morel Madrid is the other one.
Okay. Steve, would you follow up with Morel, and also follow up with Josh Robertson on that? Because I know if he's able, I know he wants to be involved.
April 25th is the day before the convention, right?
Yeah, it is. April 26th is convention.
Yeah.
Catch.
Maybe, Steve, you could persuade them to put that off for another week,
Okay.
only because of that.
Of course, then you're dealing with a new board. In theory.
All right. I had on here leftover contacting Labs membership. We don't have a membership director right now. I've done some calling. Karen's done some calling. We're probably going to have to go ahead and just put this aside until we have the new board in place, then reassign the job duties. I don't see any sense in the next month trying to stir the pot. I mean, I don't want to obligate somebody that may not even, somebody that's coming in new and not knowing what we're talking about, so.
Well, and also the convention, like you said, we're gonna change, if it passes, we might change the bylaws for who does what.
There's a lot of bylaw changes, and Mike Seebeck is with us to give the C&B report, but we have a tremendous amount of changes, and we probably have 1 or 2 meetings left, and then we'll have it all wrapped up. But a lot of changes, mostly in the board duties, cleaning up the obligations so there's no overlap.
Yeah, there's a lot right now.
Yeah, so it was in pretty rough shape. And we never got to that before. There have been some proposals made before, but we never really got to it before. So hopefully we'll be able to get through that this year. Okay, John, you had a motion here to assist the LP El Paso with the booth and territory days. Is that still on the table? You still want to do that?
Well, I've sent in an application,
Okay.
but we still they have a thing called a jury to basically you have to pass muster. And it's actually El Paso can afford to do it. But we would appreciate some of the materials that Kevin said he'd bring down.
Okay, good.
But obviously we got to provide the people, volunteers. So I think we're online to do that. It's just a matter of whether or not we get approved. And Judy Darcy says that they don't do that. So let's wait and see.
So this is premature?
Well, a little bit. Apparently, some years ago it was attempted and weren't able to get it approved. We're hoping that things have changed because it's a huge turnout.
That's a zoo down there. I went down to Territory Days about 7 or 8 years ago, and it was packed.
I've never even gone close to it because of that. It just wrecks the traffic.
Yeah.
Stay away from it.
It's a zoo, but a lot of fun. It really is. Okay.
Great opportunity.
So would you like you want to put this aside until the new board is in place and then resubmit this?
Sure.
So we're going to table it to the May meeting.
Okay.
Is that still time? When is it?
Well, it's in June.
Okay, it's close.
And Kevin's already said that he'll bring the trailer down with the stuff, and that's really all.
So all we'd be doing is voting to reimburse him?
Yeah, it doesn't look like John even thinks that that's necessary.
I think we have enough Paso County to do it. We just need the
So we really don't even have to bring this
material
back up
help,
then?
not really.
No reason? Okay. All right. One more thing. Did everybody read Kevin's monthly report?
Yes.
He is not going to continue his tenure. He's stepping down at convention. He's got some health issues that are giving him some fits right now. And so we need to actively pursue the search for a new outreach director. Lance, when you put the post up for the open offices for convention, would you add the outreach director position as well?
And make sure fundraising is on there because I know it's supposed to not end this year, but I'm
You're
done
out?
in April.
Okay. Lance, are you there?
Yep.
Okay. So both outreach and fundraising, if you would add those both to the list of open board spots.
Okay.
We already covered that one. All right, now the next one is kind of a big one. It's a simple fix, but we were hoping not to have to do this. That's a discussion for our email needs. And at this point, we can't use the CVCRM program with National to do large email unless we do the entirety of the state. There's no graceful way to break it out and do, say, El Paso County or one county. So David's been working on this and trying to find us the most reasonable fix for this. And we've been in conversation, and it looks like MailChimp is probably going to be our best bet. David, you want to go ahead and talk about that and talk about the expense?
Okay, we have approximately 7,000 or 7,500 people on our email list statewide. And MailChimp charges by the number of subscribers you have, and that quantity of subscribers is $75 a month, and that is unlimited email. So I guess it's what a lot of other states are doing. And Andy Burns recommended that we go that way.
This might be temporary, or do you think it's probably going to be ongoing?
Well, I hope they get the email system fixed sometime this year. Okay. I don't know exactly what their plans are, although I've talked to Ken Molleman, who has said that they're looking at May or June or somewhere in that area, depending on how extensive a modification they do.
Okay.
But I really don't know and won't know anything until somebody says something.
Go ahead, Mike.
You got, that's everything that you have?
Well, I hope that we get it done this year, because next year we've got the election season, and that means mailing to counties and districts and so on and so forth. So hopefully this will be a somewhat short term, let's say 6 months or so.
But if we have MailChimp, that problem is solved as long as we're using MailChimp.
Yeah.
Except for the cash flow.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Go ahead, John.
I'm a little confused. El Paso County's got an old version of CVCRM.
Yeah.
And we have about 2,500 or so email addresses. And as far as we can send them out free.
Well,
yeah, but the problem is you have to send it to everybody. Can you break it up by individual groups? Okay.
Yeah.
So in the old days, when we used CVCRM for the state, before we went to Nation Builder, well, no, actually it's maybe 2 before that. But at any rate, we did emailings off of there all the time, no problem.
well, according to Andy, there are 2 email programs on national system, and I think in CiviCRM. Okay. One of them is called CiviMail, and that has things like CAN spam standards and balance processing and unsubscribe processing.
All that stuff, yeah.
The other one that's limited to 50, and I think that's an arbitrary limit, does not have those things. So you wind up potentially sending out stuff that looks like spam. And that's something that we don't want to do.
Well, we used it for years. We didn't run into that problem, though eventually we dumped it for a professional one, because normal people couldn't use it. Only Jeff could run it. So, not that Jeff's normal, actually.
Well, I hate to throw money at the problem, guys, but I think at this point we have to throw money at it. And the cost is $75 a month, David?
Okay, so when I ran the newsletter for 2 years, we used Your Mailing List Provider, YMLP. And I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but I took a quick peek, and it's like $45 for, I'll look it up, 70,000, let me see. $45 for 30,000 emails and $60 for 50,000 emails. I mean, and they have a really good layout where you can have nice pictures and flowing and all that kind of stuff, instead of, the current stuff that we get where it's just a text document. So I don't know if that's that much better, but we've also used MailChimp, and we ran into problems with MailChimp because they require everybody to opt in. And you get 1 email before people have to opt in because they don't want you spamming. And so we got in trouble with MailChimp before.
Yeah, I know that MailChimp will penalize you for bounce backs too. So
true.
If it's undeliverable, and they'll start not delivering all of your emails. This has happened with me with MailChimp before.
And they're trying to keep you from getting, a rep as a spammer.
Right.
So, but, yeah.
Right. So what I'm hearing is that everybody who gets the first one has to opt in.
That's the best way to do it. And they recommend that at MailChimp. It's-
Yeah,
Your first email is everybody opts in and then you can
Didn't they
just
opt in
use
through the website already?
I think so. That's why we got
Well,
the emails.
yeah,
I don't like
that's,
MailChimp, to be honest, but for this reason specifically, if you already got the authorization to send them email, then you're fine.
yeah.
You've done all you need to do by law.
Mhm.
What is it? What is the website talking about?
Say that again?
What is the service that Mike Spalding is talking about?
Oh, YMLP, your mailing list provider. It's just a company we used before. Okay.
I intend to keep doing the monthly email from Civi CRM.
Right, because that goes to the whole state.
Yeah, and that will give us bounces and, you know, and
And YMLP had said it'll do that, but, oh, sorry, Kim, I know you want to go next, but, the thing with YMLP is you can buy, like, say, 30,000, and if you need a little more, you can add a little more.
Mhm.
And, you know, it might be some months we don't need any if you're able to do the statewide mailing, so.
yeah.
So
Go ahead,
my question is it 50,000 email addresses or you can send 50,000 emails?
50,000 emails.
So you can send out 50,000.
So, you know, with 7,500, if you sent 10,
We
you're
can
dead.
send 5
Yeah.
emails statewide a month.
But the statewide is free because
Yeah.
Dave can do it through that. What we really need is something to use. Although it's a pain to manage 2 email
Well,
senders.
That's the thing I was trying to get away from, was managing 2 lists.
Yeah.
Um,
And unlimited allows you to use MailChimp.
Now, I suppose we could only put those counties up that we think we're gonna have to mail to, which are the metro counties, you know? which
Would
is-
that put us in a cheaper MailChimp category or?
Well, probably slightly. I mean,
So this isn't for the statewide email?
Say that again, Lance?
This isn't for the statewide email, it's something else?
Yeah, this is for the statewide email. We're running into a problem with what's called partitioning. We can send out an email to the entirety of our database, but we don't have any graceful way to break it out by county. If we break it out, we have to break it out into blocks of, I think, 50, is it, David, at this
Yeah.
point? So, you know, if we wanted to send out something to all the Boulder County and we had 800, that would be 16 different emails that they would have to put together. And it's prohibitive time-wise. MailChimp would solve that, and it sounds like the program that Mike Spalding has brought to us might as well. David, would you look into that other program as well? But we're going to have to make a choice here pretty quick because I know Karen Ann has the newsletter that Michelle put together, put into PDF format that we can send out by email now. And we're going to have a way to do that, although that will probably go out to the entirety of our groups. We could probably use the CVCRM program for that.
Right.
Do you guys get a list of emails that dead letter or that don't deliver?
those are handled automatically.
So are they taken out of the list?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. David, if you would you check on the concerns that were raised tonight about MailChimp?
Okay.
And also look at the program that Mike has brought to the table for us. And I propose that we do an email vote on this because we're going to have to vote on a cost per month. And what I told Andy Burns is that if we had to do this, we were going to drop our support level on the CRM in whatever amount we're going to have to spend on the email program. So if it costs us $75, then we're going to have to drop down to a lower level of help on the CVCRM program until they get that fixed. I didn't want to do that, but that's really the only thing that is fiscally responsible on our end.
Okay, my understanding on what we agreed to do with supporting the CVCRM was to pay $180 a month for a particular level of service for 3 months.
Right.
Yeah, so there's one more payment April
We're done
1st.
anyway, so.
Yeah. Okay. So after Dave gets the information back to me, then I'll put it out for an email vote. But we're going to have to move for a approval on the cost. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and, Mike, you have something, go ahead.
Well, you want to do the vote? This is before we do the vote, though. How much need do we have for this?
Well, right now we've got about 5 or 6 big counties that are trying to find local candidates. And we've not really told them about it.
Okay.
And so we have to, Lance would like to email specific things to those specific counties so that I'm not sending Denver's and Boulder's and whomever's to statewide. I want a personalized email that would say, Denver County residents, here are the local offices that we're looking for, or Boulder County or El Paso, whatever.
Okay.
Once we get through that, I'm not sure I see a real need for this segregation unless there's something else that comes up that we got to do it. I was hoping to avoid all this thing, but since we're concentrating on local offices this time.
Well, not only that, the local affiliates and development groups want to be able to send out a notice of their meeting to all the folks in their county, and we need to be able to segregate and provide that information to them. So,
hey, I have something to add before we vote.
Yeah, go ahead, Lance.
The workaround right now is, for instance, in my county, I asked David for the database of just Boulder County, every registered libertarian in Boulder County, and then we put it into our MailChimp system. So we use the free version of MailChimp, which you can do like 2,000. It's something very small, but it works for us on a county level, just for like this one-time thing where you have to send out something important once a month, and that's really all the amount of emails I want to send to people, unless because we have social media. So that's the workaround. So I guess what I'm getting at is, for these larger counties that are active, like Douglas, Boulder, El Paso, places like that, that would be the workaround, is that you would find somebody very soon, but that is a lot of work for them to then set up their own MailChimp and then send out the thing for, that would avoid the cost altogether. But I like Mike Spalding's idea of the cheaper version. I would approve something at that lower level.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to table the vote until we have more information, but we'll be voting on not only whatever email service we choose, as well as the cost. So David, would you chase those and get that information to me as quickly as possible so we can get this ball rolling?
Okay. That's YMLP?
Yeah, your mailing list provider.
Okay, .com?
Right.
Okay.
What about Constant Contact?
That's another big one.
Also expensive.
Yeah, it's really
Just
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
It's really good, but it's really expensive.
But I'm just
There you
looking, there's a mail service here called MailGet for $29 for 25,000 subscribers.
Oh, subscribers. How often can you mail them?
It
Unlimited?
seems to be unlimited as far as I can tell.
MailGet.
MailGet, yeah.
It's GET, not GIT.
GET.
.com?
Yep.
Okay.
I just gave you more work to do.
Rookie sends emails to the 15,000, unlimited monthly campaigns,
Yeah.
connect up to 3 SMTPs. You've got SMTP routing. And if you go up to the Pro, which is up to 50,000 subscribers, it's 49. So that might
We
be
hope
worth
we'll be
looking
there.
at as well, MailGet.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll be putting this forth as an email vote here as quickly as David can get us the information. So guys, keep an eye on your email so you can vote quickly.
Okay. I'll put together some information.
Okay, thank you, David. We had a request to approve a $100 one-time fee for MailChimp to send out the newsletter that Michelle just put together. But if we can get this put to a vote here in the next couple of days, then we can probably not have to address this one tonight.
Right.
Okay.
We might find a cheaper way to do it.
Do you want to send that out to the entire state?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why not just use
Yeah,
what
so why
they
not use
say?
Oh, that's right.
CRM?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't send it in PDF format, right? We're gonna send it in like native email format because an attachment I think would trip up a lot of people.
Yeah, I think Karen had it, I think she was gonna do it in a PDF.
Well,
But PDF people won't open it.
Yeah, people won't open a PDF, but if you make it in
Right.
an email, they will.
Dave has,
David?
I was going to suggest that we could put the PDF on the website, okay, and just link to it.
Yeah.
That way, we're not sending out a 10 megabyte file to 7,000 people.
that would eat up some bandwidth.
Yeah.
I don't think people are
That's-
inclined to do that, though.
I think we would have a better click rate if we put in, in our newsletter, heading teaser line, heading teaser line, heading teaser line, and then to read more, click here.
Yeah, that's the best way to do
I
it.
think that would be the most
Okay.
cost-effective way.
And we could have Karen Ann write the teasers.
Yeah.
So Dave does
All right, well, we'll chase that, we'll discuss that when we do our email thing as well.
Yeah, I would much rather open a link than a PDF anytime.
Yeah, you don't know if it's actually a PDF, so.
Right, and
virus
if
file
it
or
says
something.
the lpcolorado.org/
Yeah.
newsletter, I'm gonna open that.
Okay.
Cause I know the website, I know the domain. The PDF, I would not open it, ever.
All right. Then, I believe, Lance, did you put this idea together, motion to approve $20 advertising each month on Facebook for our articles?
Yeah, Kim said she would second it.
Yep, so seconded.
Okay, is that enough, $20?
Oh yeah, we can do a
How much
lot with $2 or $3 per thing, per post. That can reach 500 to 1,000 people each time, and then if it's good content, it helps boost it so it can go, possibly viral. We've been having some really good reach lately on our Facebook with all these, with these new volunteers and our articles because they're so timely. So, events would be good to push too, like to target. We could target affiliates. We can target people to come to the board meeting, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so we,
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry, I was
go
going
ahead,
to
Kim.
say, especially if you've got people clicking on our articles and we follow that up with an event in their area, an ad for an event in their area. It provides a really good rate of return.
Right, especially like Adams County, that's a good example. So we're going to get that affiliate going again so we could just target Adams County with the event in itself, so.
okay. So we have a motion to approve $20 advertising fee for Facebook. Is that per month, Lance?
Per month, please, yep.
Okay. You have a second?
Yes.
Any discussion? Any objection? That passes without objection. All right, you got it, Lance.
Sweet.
Okay, and then we have this is from Kevin. He's asking for the board to approve $600 for booth and insurance for the Denver Pride Fest to be held Saturday, June 15th and Sunday, June 16th. And the registration deadline is April 1st. So this is our deal tonight. We got to make a decision
I'll
on it
second
tonight.
it.
Okay. Any discussion?
It's been really good for us in the past. as
You
far
bet
as
it
that.
has.
Yeah.
Okay. Any objection? Okay. The motion to spend $600 for the booth and insurance at Denver's Pride Fest carries without objection. Guys, that's all I had. David?
The SOS list, or is that taken care of?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm ordering it on whenever the 15th is. I guess it's
Okay.
Friday. I can order it tonight for that matter.
Sure, why not?
Okay, yeah.
Might as well get it sooner.
Yeah, if we're not going to get any updates between now and then, so.
Okay, well, guys, this was a very, very brief meeting compared to the last couple that we've had.
But it seemed productive too.
Yes.
Indeed.
Feel that way?
We actually got stuff
I
done.
don't know what happened there.
All right, so wish me luck on trying to persuade Roger to step up, and I appreciate everybody here that said they were willing to step up and take some of the obligations, so he doesn't have it all.
Didn't Karen Ann want to be?
She's handling all of the business, so she's already handling
Okay, so
half.
she's already doing that.
Yeah.
That's something for Roger to know. That's,
Oh, here
that's
he
all
goes.
him. Okay.
He's been involved for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Ever since he returned back to the United States, he's been involved, and I reached out to him, and he said he was more than willing to help and kind of take Chris under his wing. But I don't think he realized that Chris's wing was, or his wing wouldn't have a Chris under it. So, all right. Anything else anybody needs to talk about tonight?
Wow.
Wow, that's a new record, guys.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Objections? We are adjourned.
All right.
Wow.
Indeed, wow.
Might get more people on the board.